Let's face it, we have all had that one wild idea that pushed us to believe it might change the entire world. You feel like a hero for about 5 seconds after getting that eureka moment before the reality check hits. Certain ideas exist that reach such extraordinary levels that they make even your most supportive friends doubt your mental stability. Ford, the company behind one of the most iconic American muscle cars, the Mustang, had such an idea. Imagine this. The sleek Mustang suddenly becomes the Hulk of the automotive world. Yeah, Ford wanted to build a V10 engine. Ford's reputation was built on making V8 engines in muscle cars. However, they decided to take a big leap and wanted to throw a truck engine into a sports car. This is the kind of automotive decision that makes you scratch your head and wonder, what were they thinking? Was this an ambitious experiment? Did they go a bit too far in search of muscle car glory? Now, before you get too excited and rush to your local Ford dealer asking if this muscle car is on the market today, relax. The Boss 351 V10 Mustang never made it past the drawing boards, but it's still one of the most mind-boggling chapters in Ford's history. Buckle up, folks, because I will be diving into the story of the day Ford said, "Let's take the Mustang and redefine it into a monster." Before I get into it, please remember to give this video a like, leave a comment, share it with fellow car enthusiasts, and subscribe to my channel to view additional exciting videos. Okay, before I talk about the V10 saga, let me quickly remind you about the features of the Mustang that make it very special. When Ford introduced the Mustang in 1964, its stylish V8 engine made people fall in love with it instantly. The Mustang has undergone many updates over the years, which has cemented its legacy as a car that represents speed and power alongside its appealing design. Under the power of its V8 engine, the Mustang created powerful vibrations that echo through the surface of the ground. When it came to street cruising or racing, the Mustang earned its legendary status through its reputation as an unrivaled performer. Ford created various models by teaming up with Shelby and Roush, yet it maintained the original V8 muscle fundamental for all versions. All the historical significance and status attributed to the Mustang show why Ford's decision to change the vehicle's direction required intense nerve. But did they take it too far? Ford took a new approach to the Mustang with its V10 engine model. Picture this. You've got the Mustang, a car that was built on the foundations of muscle, power, and speed. And then one day, someone at Ford says, why not throw in a 6.8-liter V10 engine? Ford introduced the Boss 351 V10 Mustang prototype during the early 2000s by choosing an unexpected approach toward the automotive sector. Their goal was to sustain the Mustang market presence as they faced competition from the Dodge Viper, which represented a genuine performance titan during that period. The engineering team proposed adding supercar-level power to the Mustang because it existed as one of the most distinguished American vehicle creations. Such a plan appears wonderful indeed. Well, sort of. Ford engineers decided that a V10 engine, which had primarily been used in trucks and large performance vehicles like the Viper, would be the answer. The engineering team sought increased power together with enhanced torque capabilities as well as an all-around superior performance. The designers failed to understand that Mustangs possess distinct characteristics from trucks which make them fundamentally different from Vipers. At the heart of this ill-fated project was a 6.8-liter V10 engine. The V10 Mustang engine creators designed the power output at about 500 horsepower when they developed it. The huge engine output made the V10 an intensely powerful unit, despite coming from a vehicle made from V8s. The manufacturing team at Ford chose to launch the high-performance sports car segment by adopting the belief that adding more engine cylinders would create a superior product. Now let's talk about what happens when you try to shove a giant engine into a car that was never designed for it. Imagine trying to fit a gorilla into a kiddie pool. Sure, it might technically fit, but you're going to end up with a mess and a lot of broken things. That's pretty much what happened when Ford decided to throw a V10 engine into the Mustang. First off, the V10 was heavy. The vehicle carried a large truck motor measuring 6.8 liters because it couldn't compare to the V8 engine that the Mustang had previously used. The result? The front end of the car experienced sudden weight gain, similar to packing dumbbell-loaded suitcases. And the rear end? Well, it's now that one friend at the gym who skips leg day. In short, it was not balanced. The transformation of Mustang evolved from its original fast and agile muscle car design into a bulky, slow-moving beast, which would appear more suited for the fast and furious farm scene if it existed. The handling? Oh, that was a disaster. The Mustang, a car built to excel at cornering, received an unsuitable front-end design that looked like a truck bumper, thus resulting in driving chaos. The V10 engine overwhelmed the suspension system because it was designed to manage only V8 power. So now, when you tried to take a corner with any sort of speed, it felt like trying to spin a shopping cart with one wheel missing. Driving those corners felt similar to strapping a refrigerator onto your body during tightrope walking. Although you might succeed, you will struggle and very likely crash into the ground. Now let's talk about the sound, shall we? The Mustang has always had a glorious rumble with its V8 engines, but slap a V10 onto it, and now you've got an engine that sounds like it's trying to take off into the stratosphere. Imagine the Mustang just screaming at you like, "What did I do to deserve this?" It was loud, it was obnoxious, and it was probably shaking the windows of houses a mile away. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounded powerful. But it was the kind of sound that said, hey, I'm not going anywhere quietly. Also, I just might break everything on the way there. In the end, Ford's V10 Mustang was like that guy at the party who shows up in a tuxedo and a cape, asking for attention. Sure, he's got style, but you can't help but wonder if he's maybe trying a bit too hard. Let's call a spade a spade. The V10 Mustang didn't make it past the prototype stage, and it's probably for the best. Okay, so picture this. A bunch of Ford engineers sitting around the table, all smiles and high fives, thinking, this is it. We've just made the muscle car of the future. But then they took it for a spin. They revved the engine, the power surged, and they probably imagined themselves as the kings of the car world. I bet you could almost hear the collective uh-oh from the whole engineering department. The car felt like it was about to do the automotive equivalent of a belly flop. It was like that one time you tried to impress your friends with a backflip off the diving board, but instead you hit the water like a wrecking ball. Ford recognized that their Mustang product had taken on the characteristics of a rebellious truck, rather than its original design as a sporty car. The V10 engine was originally designed to increase performance and operated as a heavyweight in the front end of the vehicle. The suspension? Not exactly up for the challenge. The front end of the Mustang acted like it pulled the entire weight of the universe, even though it was carrying the massive truck engine block. The change is achievable, but the process will result in a messy disturbance that might cause permanent damage. Then there was the power. Ah yes, the glorious, overwhelming, never-ending power. The horrible reality emerged that excess of something desirable frequently results in disorder. The Mustang proved itself to be a muscle car rather than a supercar. And muscle cars need balance. A performance disaster emerges when you lack it. Imagine a toddler who just learned to walk but can now lift a truck. Sure, he's strong, but he's going to be tripping over everything, including his own 2 feet. So in a moment of clarity, Ford had a reality check. The V10 Mustang wasn't just an awkward car, it was an awkward mistake. They quickly concluded that, while the idea of a V10 Mustang was fun on paper, it just wasn't right for what the Mustang was supposed to be. Ford decided to discontinue manufacturing of the V10 Mustang when it was clear the time had come to move on. In the end, Ford had learned a crucial lesson. Sometimes more horsepower isn't better. Sometimes you just need to know when to say, all right, let's dial it back a bit. And that's exactly what they did. So let me talk about the fallout of the V10 Mustang disaster. Ford realized pretty quickly that they had pushed the limits of automotive sanity. The engineers probably gathered around the prototype, gave it one last sad, pathetic pat on the hood, and collectively whispered, "You tried." They had big dreams of making the Mustang the ultimate muscle car, but instead they created an angry, unbalanced beast that could barely make it around a corner without feeling like it was going to topple over. The fallout? Well, it was like trying to give a giraffe roller skates. It might look cool for a second, but you know it's going to end in tears. Ford knew that it had to scrap the V10 Mustang before it became a real thing. Imagine trying to sell that thing. Yeah, it's got a V10 engine, but it might also tend to throw you into a ditch if you tried to take a turn too quickly. So it's not a track car, but it'll give you a great workout trying to control it. At the end of the day, Ford went back to what worked, which was balance, and decided to stick with their V8. In the end, the V10 Mustang is the kind of car you admire for its ambition but question its execution. Ford's decision to push the Mustang into a realm it wasn't quite ready for is a reminder that sometimes even the biggest companies make questionable decisions, but that doesn't mean we don't appreciate the effort. Sometimes, Ford's wildest ideas, like the V10 Mustang, are the very things that keep the legend of the Mustang alive. Even when they don't work out, these wild, crazy prototypes add another layer to the history of one of the most iconic cars ever made. The V10 Mustang might not have been the masterpiece Ford hoped for, but it's certainly a fascinating chapter in the Mustang's long history. Thank you, Ford, for the attempt. We'll keep that story alive. Just, maybe don't try it again next time. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and share this video with your fellow car lovers. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos, and we'll catch you in the next one.